come prima, più di prima t'amerò. Per la vita, la mia vita ti darò. Sembra un sogno rivederti, accarezzarti, le tue mani fra le mani stringere ancora. Il mio mondo, tutto il mondo sei per me. A nessuno voglio bene come a te. Ogni giorno, ogni istante, dolcemente ti dirò come prima, più di prima t'amerò. La mia vita ti darò. Ogni giorno, ogni istante, dolcemente ti dirò come prima, più di prima t'amerò.
Nathan Andrew Burkhalter. I've been alive 12,632 days, but today is my favorite. I stand before you, taking in the weight and the beauty of this moment, ready to say yes to a life by your side. But I think you'd agree the preparation that allowed us to be standing before one another now started long before this day. Since I was a little girl saying prayers at bedtime, I can remember asking God about you, what you'd be like, what you'd look like. I asked that He would raise you to be a man to know and love Him deeply, that you'd have peace in all of your relationships, that you'd have exceptional integrity, that He would lead you to me, and that we would be ready for one another. He did not shortchange me. Since that time, we have both been in process, the preparation, and I'm so grateful that you're a man who has surrendered completely to God, going all in with Him. There are times we both could have said yes to other paths, but giving God our individual yeses, I'm convinced, made us ready for this. His best, and led us to this day. When in prayer over today, God reminded me of a moment in worship right after I'd had back surgery and much of my life still looked gray and very uncertain. Crying, I can remember singing to Him, declaring, "You're never going to let me down." That hasn't meant there weren't moments that felt like that's exactly what had happened, but I firmly believe then that God was trustworthy, and that even when it didn't look like it, I would see God's promises fulfilled in the land of the living. This day is evidence of what God spoke to me many years ago. And second to Jesus, you are the greatest gift and promise fulfilled that I will ever receive. When we finally started dating and I began getting to know you, people would ask about the kind of man that you are. I would say in earnest, he is the best man that I know. One would assume that as time passed, I'd get to know you more, and inevitably this would have to become less true, but it did not. The more I've gotten to know you, Nate, deeply, the more certain I am of the truth of that statement. You are truly a once-in-a-lifetime kind of person. You are a man of noble character, conviction. You're a kind, kind man, full of mercy, a man who doesn't waver in doing what is right and honorable. You are a hard worker. You are loyal, faithful, dedicated, and committed in all that you do. Funny as hell, not allowed to say that. And it makes me laugh harder than I do with anyone else.
We love Jesus and we cuss a little.
Just a little. You are courageous. You are a man who doesn't buckle under pressure. One who doesn't give in to the fear of man. You are kingdom focused. One after God's own heart. You are a man who, in getting to know you, has brought me so much peace. And one who has my deepest respect, something you know is not easy to earn. Nathan Burkhalter, you are my absolute favorite person. My best friend. You're my Ephesians 3:20 come to life. Truly more than I could have asked, thought, or imagined. And as you're aware, I can imagine a lot. It is the absolute kindness of God that you are the one I have the privilege to call my husband and to build a life, family, and a legacy with. You've shown me more than any person in my lifetime what being loved like Christ looks like. Your love is both safe and wild. It's steady and adventurous. It is warm, but always challenges and calls me deeper, higher. You allow room for me to be fully who I am, while also speaking to who you know God has created me to become. I can't wait to see you do this with our children. They're going to be the most blessed to have you as a dad. With that, I vow to honor you, respect you, to let you lead our family and me, to point you to God daily, and to keep him at the center of our lives and relationship. I vow to remember that he is our first love. I vow to cherish you and be faithful to you, forsaking all others. I vow to be silly with you and always make you laugh. I vow to cover you when you get it wrong, to encourage you and champion your God-given dreams until they become a reality. I vow to stand by your side in good times and bad. I vow to wake up and choose you every day for the rest of all of mine. From this day forward, I bind my life to yours forever. I love who you have been, who you are, and who you will become. You're the man of my dreams, and getting to spend my life loving you feels like crime. Throughout time, there will never be another love story or friendship like ours. I wanted to repeat something you'd written to me in my first Valentine from you, something I believe to be deeply true. Los tiempos de Dios son perfectos. Or God's timing is perfect. I love you.
Great accent, babe.
I love you, babe. All right, I'll take those rings. That ring.
Love you. It was beautiful.
At your call. We can make it take as long as we want. I'll give you that back.
Okay. I might ad-lib some in here as
You
well.
can do whatever you want.
Okay, good.
There's no rules. Just us.
Emily Ann, my gorgeous girl, my amazing woman. It doesn't quite seem real that we're standing here today, the culmination of prayers prayed for us and over us. First by our parents, even before we were born, before we even knew or understood the heart's desire that God gave us for marriage and for each other. And it's been a lifetime of preparation and prayers for both of us. I believe God has and will honor our desire, our willingness, our effort to prepare well as we've trusted his process and submitted our lives to him. And now here we stand, birthing something new after our, I say 9 months in a relationship. I met you over a year ago. And then before, once meeting you, then I disappeared for 4 months off to another Dominican Republic survivor adventure with God, and a pause from being able to talk to you and to the rest of the world. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen after that. I didn't know what life would look like on the other side of my time away, completely disconnected from you and from the world, but God did. And as you said, los tiempos de Dios son perfectos. The timing of God is perfect. So here we stand. Emily Ann Burris, now becoming Emily Ann Burkhalter. Your beauty, your grace, your strength, and you're all elegantly wrapped into one. You're the one my heart adores and desires. You're the one that my heart rests with, where I feel safe, known, loved, and respected. You're my best friend. And now you're my lover. I knew when I met you that you had a heart fully surrendered to God, which is deeply important to me. And you desired to live an atypical life, one that was daring, adventurous, for a bigger purpose. And that you were cool with a country boy who loves Jesus and might cuss a little. I could quickly sense that you've been faithfully waiting and trusting God for many things in your life, and especially for a husband. You've waited and prepared well, spiritually, emotionally, even in your sexual purity. And I'm proud of the woman you are, who you've allowed God to shape you into being. You're an overcomer, and you've overcome many hardships. And instead of those things making you bitter, you've allowed God to use them to make you better and make you even more beautiful. And you are beautiful. Especially in this dress. Your inward glow that you carry, it radiates through you. It shows up in your beauty outside. You're striking, and your heart is pure. And I love your heart and your character, that it's been refined by fire and purified like gold. You're fierce and you're fiery. I love that spunkiness. You're fun, and you're a true Proverbs 31 woman. I won't say you're a 10 and a 31, but
I won't say it.
your depth with God through Jesus Christ is so evident in your life, and that's a deep desire fulfilled in my heart. I love our goofy jokes and your witty banter. I love the sweetness of your voice when you sing, especially when it's loud enough for me to hear it. I love your adventurous side, your willingness to take on a challenge, and how you can keep up with me, or when you can leave me behind and I try to keep up with you. Our first weekend together, it stood out to me. It signified who you were. With your idea and proposal to go skydiving or cliff jumping, and how you impressed me with our midnight swim, and what did we do? Something illegal, trespassing, walking through the woods.
A little bit.
Maybe. We won't say that on camera, or too late. What I admire is you don't let fear stop you. You're courageous. And I knew you were my ride or die when, instead of telling me to sell my motorcycle, you said, you better keep it. I was like, that's my kind of girl.
I could really cut.
Right? And after I proposed, I love that you eagerly said yes to my idea of jumping out of an airplane, which was really your original idea, as we got to jump out and symbolize a leap of faith together, trusting God, or in the parachute case of trusting the parachute, but trusting God of our life together as we leap into marriage and a life together of adventure and love. I'm grateful for how you encourage me. You give me freedom to grow. And you encourage me to grow in my walk with God and the calling that He's put on my life and in our life. Together, I believe in Matthew 6:33 that if we seek first God's kingdom and His righteousness, everything else will fall into place. You are a God-given partner and a helpmate. I trust you deeply. You're capable. You're talented. You're wise. Did I say you were funny already? I think I did.
You think twice.
You're funny. You hear God's voice. I believe we were put together by God and made for each other. But that wasn't obvious to me at first. I was more guarded and skeptical. And it took some prompting from trusted friends and people in my life and family to help remind me of what's important and remind me of who you are. And so as I pursued you and sought God, He revealed that to me. And I saw the depth of who you are and the joy of getting to be in your life. So I'm thankful that God gave me a process to work through, that I had to fight for that and fight for you, fight for us. And so I'm grateful for that. I love your flexibility, as I also didn't finish every bit of my vow on this paper. So I'm going to read a few things that the camera won't see. I'm grateful for your patience and trust in my process. Your trust in God, even in uncertain places of waiting on me. You never sought to influence me, manipulate or control me or us. You let me lead, and you brought things before God in prayer. For me, knowing that your trust is grounded in God and that there's room for my imperfections, it makes me trust you even deeper. And I want to see and help you come alive in ways.
Just
Keep going.
You're good. We can pause the camera. You with me? This part's important.
I'm listening.
I want to see you, and I want to help you come alive in ways you've never experienced or even dreamed of. Thank you for letting me encourage you and to challenge you to be all that God created you to be. Even when that's uncomfortable, when it's uncertain. I want it to be a safe place. Just like our elopement in this beautiful place in Italy, I believe our life together won't be traditional because we don't take the traditional route. And I'm excited to start a life together, to build one that has a legacy that's far beyond our years. And I believe our hearts will thrive in our cultivated romance, our friendship, our commitment and choice, our mindset, and especially our joyous laughter. Or my cheesy laughter.
Yeah.
You're already an amazing woman, and I know you'll be an amazing wife and future mother. And I'm excited to be able to experience those things with you. I know that this step, it ends the life of the old me, and it begins the life of you and I, of us. And so I choose to die to my selfishness, my me-centeredness, and to put you and us before me and I. I choose to lay my life down for you as Jesus laid down his life for his bride, the church. I commit to you and I vow to you to love and to serve you for the rest of my life, to lift you up to God our Father, to cover you in prayer and scripture and words of encouragement that speak to your heart and your spirit, and less acts of service and more quality time. I commit to honoring you and honoring our marriage as a covenant to you and to God, to esteem and cherish you as the bespoke and exquisite woman of God that you are. I give you this ring. I got a ring for you. Ooh. And I give you this ring. The second ring, as a symbol of my commitment, as a covenant vow between you, myself, and God, a three-stranded cord that's woven together, meant to withstand great storms and endure hardships, while also looking beautiful and regal in the sunshine. And now from Tennessee to Texas, and wherever we may go from there, eres mi corazón, mi amor. You're my heart and you're my love. Oh. And do you want to put a ring on me first?
Yes, I think you're holding it. Give me that ring. Baby. Does it sound good?
Hey.
That's that knuckle.
Good one. You got, there he goes.
There you go.
Thank you. Now.
Now.
And now. And now, after ceremony, after covenant,
I can only imagine what you're about to say.
soon to be consummation,
There it is.
I now pronounce us Mr. and Mrs. Burkhalter. Nate, you may kiss the bride.
I love you.
I love you, baby.
It's beautiful.
You can win in this life.